I'm consumer investigator Dale Cardwell, and this is consumer news we can use. If you're a business owner, it's important to find commercial flooring that stands up to the traffic and to the wear and tear that you're going to receive. It looks good and doesn't cost a lot of money. Joining us today is TrustDALE Certified Flooring Expert Shay Reason of After 5 Flooring. And he's here to tell us about the reasons and the ways that we can choose the right kind of flooring. Shay, there's so many flooring options for commercial buildings, including carpet, tile, laminate, hardwood, vinyl, and linoleum. What's the first factor a business owner needs to evaluate prior to picking a flooring material?
Well, I would say the very first thing you want to ask yourself is how much traffic am I going to have on this? In my office, in my restaurant, in a shopping facility. That's the very first thing you want to ask yourself. And then the next thing is, what kind of visual appeal am I trying to convey here? What's the atmosphere? What am the ambiance am I trying to set? If it's a retail environment, then you want to make it conducive to what is going on around it, as far as if you got rolling carts, if you've got people bringing in drinks from the outside. If you're a restaurant and you're serving lots of drinks and food, you gotta be prepared for all of those types of products.
Let's break that down. When I was a kid, my mom took me to Kmart, and it seems like it was wall to wall, very dull linoleum. It's come a
Mhm.
long way since then, but let's say you have heavy foot traffic. What are the products you want to look at?
Yeah, if in an environment where you're going to have a lot of traffic space, then you want to look at something like a vinyl plank or a VCT, which is probably what they would have had in Kmart way back in those days. VCT is still a popular product. It's kind of evolved now to be more what we call an LVT, meaning a luxury vinyl tile, or an LVP and a luxury vinyl plank. A lot of the same durability, different visuals. I think a big common mistake that I see is in restaurants. They will you'll see kind of not a chain restaurant, but a mom and pop type restaurant, and they're going in for the we got to save money and get the doors open approach, and they wind up putting a floor in there that's not water resistant. That and the first week they're open, they're mopping the floor and the floor's peeling apart on them, and that was a major fail.
Ouch. How long should I expect a good floor to last if I have heavy traffic?
Well, you should expect that floor to last in a commercial environment, being that you picked the right product. It should last 5, 10, even 15 years. But the key part of that is the maintenance. What the major contributor do we see to the flooring malfunctioning, aside from the first floor being wrong? But if you make the right selection, the next part is maintaining it, cleaning it with the right cleaning product. You don't just um, go to the local store, pick out the thing because the label says it'll do what it'll do. You got to read the back of the label or consult a flooring expert to make sure you're cleaning it, maintaining it the right way.
So here's the one that intrigues me. Location of my building. Shay, why does it matter where my building is?
Well, the building location, a lot of times having to do with the area around it. So you're coming in off an asphalt driveway. That asphalt produces lots of oils and soot, and you're bringing that right in on your floor. Um, so in that environment, having a carpet right up front, probably not the best idea. You want to have some walk-off mats, or possibly a tile entranceway that is preparing and collecting that oil before it makes its way through the rest of your facility. One thing that we see a lot of problems with is in industrial buildings, they put down these new vinyl plank floors or VCT, and we're back a year later and they've got a lot of soil and soot that has collected deep into the grain. So those oils are transferring to that floor. The vinyl plank is just collecting it. If we'd had carpet in that facility, now the carpet would it'd be collecting it, absorbing it, and be deep into the fibers at that point.
So I've heard folks in your industry say that the floor is the front door of your home, it's the front door of your business, it's the thing that people take a cue from and say, "Oh, this is the kind of environment I'm in." Are aesthetics important to choosing a floor if you're a business?
Well, there's no doubt that I'm partial to the floor. If we had a painter on here, he'd be partial to the paint on the walls, right? But the flooring really does set the standard for the facility. So maybe not day one, But let's say we're a month in or we're 12 months into the opening of your business. Picking the right floor that was made to withstand that traffic and still be visually appealing, but also stand up to the traffic and whatever you're putting that floor through. That's going to be where you really save money long term by picking the right product that is also visually appealing. And we've got a variety of products that'll do that. So there's even some carpets that we've got that can not just do very well for sound absorption, but also give you some long-term clean and durability.
So Shay, if I'm considering leasing space, even though I love the price, I love the layout, I need to be conscious of where I'm walking.
Yes, absolutely. Leasing a space can have different contractual obligations depending on what you and your landlord have worked out. So sometimes those guys are responsible for it, and sometimes you, as the tenant, are responsible. So going into that, it's really good to ask the question, hey, at what point am I responsible for knowing what product I can put in here? How long is your lease agreement? So that might also be another question that we would be involved in, is how long do you plan on being there? How long is your lease agreement? And if we know that we need to get something that's going to look good for 2 to 3 years, then that's definitely a different process that you might go to, a different product selection.
So like the Cardwell family recently did, how do folks reach out to After 5 Floors?
Well, definitely visit trustdale.com, type in After 5 Floors, and make sure you get that $10,000 Make It Right guarantee. But you can also visit us at after5floors.com. Schedule a in-office appointment. We're going to bring samples, take measurements, and provide you with a written quote. And most of all, give you time to make sure you got the right decision made. Because we want you to love that floor day one and 10 years later.
And Shay, as I always say, the $10,000 Make It Right guarantee, it's rare, but it's real. Thank you so much, Shay Reason, for joining us on this day.
Thank you, Dale.
And thank you so much for joining us for this episode. We'll see you next time on Consumer News We Can Use.